So now we're gonna be starting our brittle. We're gonna start with pouring our water in light corn syrup first. The corn syrup ratio with the sugar that we're also gonna be adding, it's gonna be a 50-50 ratio. That's usually the rule. And the water is in there just to avoid crystallization. We're gonna start our Brittle control freak, which is gonna also help us reach our temperature thanks to the precision temperature probe that it includes. We're gonna set it to 155 just to achieve that hard crack stage with the sugar. And since it's a brittle recipe, we're gonna be adding butter. So this is gonna be our fat. And what's really important about when you add sugar, water, and fat is that you always need to keep stirring. Very important, as the fat can burn. So now that our temperature, we have reached hard crack stage, which we have been reading with our control freak probe, we're gonna turn it off to avoid the sugar cooking more than it needs to cook. And we're gonna be adding our peanut butter. This is a peanut brittle. Love peanut butter. Get it all in there. I prefer to use creamy peanut butter, but you can also use chunky peanut butter. We add our salt. We're gonna make sure that this is incorporated before we add the rest of our ingredients. You can see how silky that is, very smooth. So we mix. And we're gonna add the most important ingredient in our brittle, which is the baking soda. This is gonna give it that air that it needs, that leavening. But once we add it, we need to be very careful not to be too harsh with it, because we're gonna be folding our peanuts after. So just a little bit. We're gonna throw in our peanuts in there. Roasted and chopped, whatever you like best. And once this is all folded, as you can see, I'm folding it very gently. It's important to take our time with this. I'm going to take out our probe so we can dump. Put it all in one corner to make it easier for us. And we're going to walk over here and dump our brittle very gently, so that we don't ruin the effect of the baking soda in the brittle, which is our most important ingredient. This is good. And now we will let it cool for a little before we go into the chamber. Why? Because it's a little bit dangerous to put hot things in the chamber. So we're gonna give it about 2 minutes, flip it, and 2 minutes more. So now we're moving on to the vacuum chamber. This is our multi-vac. Shout out to multi-vac for giving us settings for this recipe. I'm gonna put it in here. And again, it's really important that it's not super hot. This is because of the condensation. It can go into the filter, it can damage the machine. So we touch it, it's warm to the touch, but not super hot. We set it onto our setting 6, which we set thanks to multi-vac, and we're gonna close. As you can see, the brittle is gonna start aerating, it's gonna start growing. So now that our vacuum chamber has finished with our aerated peanut brittle, we're gonna take it out. As you can see, this is the final product that we've achieved. We're gonna take it out. This is what we have. And I'm just gonna cut it just so that you guys can see the product that we've achieved. So look at that. Very aerated, melts in your mouth, dissolves, very tasty.